so I know exactly how many. This is a great way to estimate how many pieces you're getting from here. And you know that you're not cutting them too big. So you take your dough cutter, cut your first piece off, and roll it into a ball. So these are kind of a ball shape like this. And you have an ungreased cookie sheet. Because we have butter in the cookies, you don't need to grease your cookie sheet anymore. Because you want them to be crispy on the outside and kind of soft in the middle. So you take your dough, and in each one you're going to take one whole clove and press it into the center of your dough ball. So once again, you want to put the dough into the palm of your hand, and then take your other hand, cup it, roll it around so it's smooth, slightly press it down, and then put one clove in the middle. Very simple. And it makes it much easier if you have your dough cutter. They come in very handy for this recipe. Once again, you roll it around, slightly press it down. I'll have a few of these cloves and press it in the middle. And whole cloves are usually pretty easy to find at the grocery store in the spice section. They're also great to put if you make the Greek baklava pastry. You can also put a whole clove in each one of the pieces when you bake that as well. Once again, you just press a little clove in there. And I'm making them all even, about the same shape and about the same amount in each one. So your oven's preheated to 350. You're going to pop these in the oven for about 15 to 20 minutes. It's very helpful if you have a cookie rack so they can cool properly. And then after they cool, you can garnish them with a little powdered sugar on top. And that's a lot healthier than putting frosting and other types of overly sweet types of things on top, toppings. Okay, so when we come back, we're going to bake these in the oven for 15 to 20 minutes. When we come back, we'll show you what they look like here on Eat Right by George. Just taken our low gluten cookies out of the oven. They were in the oven for about 15 minutes. And as you can see, the cookies do not have a real golden brown color because I used egg white instead of one yolk to make it a little bit of a lighter and lower calorie recipe. But you will notice on the bottom that they are golden brown. So that's what you want to check for when you take them out of the oven. They should be golden brown on the bottom. And like I mentioned before, they'll be a little crispier on the top, but in the center they'll be nice and soft when you bite into them. They're a beautiful golden brown color on the bottom. Now next I'm going to put them on a cooling rack and show you how I garnish them with powdered sugar and a little cinnamon as well. We'll be right back on Eat Right by George. Well, welcome back to Eat Right by George. We're making our low gluten cookies, and this is the most fun part, I think, is garnishing the cookies and then trying them, seeing how they taste. So in order to garnish them, we're going to use powdered sugar, and I have a little mini sifter, which I put powdered sugar inside. And as I mentioned before, these cookies don't require frosting because that's a lot more fattening than a little powdered sugar. So what you want to do, and I know many people have these in their pantries somewhere and haven't been using them. Well, they do come in very handy because they evenly garnish our cookies in this case. So watch as I garnish each one. It only takes about 3 or 4 little triggers here. You want to make sure it's covered. And it's a lot easier than trying to dip them in powdered sugar. And next you just want to use your cinnamon. Now I just take a little bit of cinnamon and sprinkle it on each one. And of course cinnamon has a lot of health benefits. Helps keep your blood sugar levels more even. A couple dabs. And that's about it. You take a nice clear plate. Put those little cookies on top. And if you have special dietary needs where you can't have a lot of gluten in your diet, well, this is the perfect dessert, or actually just something to have with your coffee every morning. 1 or 2 are like the perfect little pick-me-up that you need here on Eat Right by George. So I want to thank you for joining us here on Eat Right by George, where we made a low gluten cookie with garnished with powdered sugar. Of course, once again, in case you're wondering the recipe, you're going to need 2½ cups of pastry flour, ½ cup of powdered sugar, make sure they're sifted. You need ½ pound of butter, which is 2 sticks. You need a teaspoon of vanilla, a teaspoon of Greek brandy called ouzo. You also need 2 egg whites, and then a little bit of extra powdered sugar on top. And then we garnish each one with 1 whole clove. Very simple to make. Bake them for about 15 minutes in the oven. Ungreased cookie sheet. And you make about a couple dozen from this dough, from this cookie dough. So once again, make sure to find us on Facebook and friend us and send us a friend request and show us some of your healthy cookie recipes as well. Thanks for joining us. I'm Chef Nutritionist George Rapitas here on Eat Right by George.